Honorably discharged, dishonorably deported. The San Diego group helping deported veterans navigate the challenges of life after service.
Well, if you have these canisters sitting in seawater, it's much the same as dumping the high-level waste into the ocean. And so this has a severe threat on both the aquatic life and human life. A good idea.
A closer look at the shuttered San Onofre nuclear power plant and the plan to store millions of pounds of radioactive material near the shoreline.
Well, they had the big bulldozers and all that stuff. We had most of picks and shovels and things to cut grass.
Braving brutal conditions, the salute to the segregated black soldiers who helped build this critical supply route. KPBS Evening Edition starts right now. Good evening. Thanks for joining us. I'm Amita Sharma. Helping deported and non-citizen veterans was the subject of a community meeting in Kearney Mesa today. Military service doesn't guarantee a pathway to citizenship, and immigrant activists have identified more than 200 veterans deported since 2012. KPBS Fronteras reporter Jean Guerrero has the story.
The forum took place here in this conference hall in Kearney Mesa. Community groups met to discuss pending legislation and other initiatives to help deported veterans and veterans who could face deportation.
Veterans who were deported to at least 34 countries.
They started the event by screening a documentary about deported veterans who live just south of the border in Tijuana. A deported veteran named Daniel Torres attended the screening. Torres was able to come back to the U.S. last year with the help of the ACLU.
It is a shame that the United States is getting rid of its most loyal people, who are their veterans. We were all willing to fight, and some of us have killed for this nation.
Torres served as a Marine for 4 years after overstaying his visa. When the military found out he was not in the country legally, he was honorably discharged. Most veterans who were deported were lawful permanent residents who committed crimes after their service. Technically, people must be in the U.S. legally to enlist in the military, but veteran advocacy groups say recruiters sometimes make exceptions to meet enlistment quotas. Another problem discussed at the meeting is the fact that some people who serve in the military don't apply for citizenship, even though their service qualifies them. About 24,000 non-citizens were in the military as of 2012, according to the ACLU. Former state assemblyman and Marine veteran Nathan Fletcher started an organization to support deported veterans called Honorably Discharged, Dishonorably Deported. Fletcher says the military is meticulous in providing its service members with everything except information regarding their eligibility for citizenship.
Here's your will, here's your power of attorney, here's your shots, here's your haircut, here's your checking account, here's how to swim, like here's how to tie your shoes, literally everything. And you would think somewhere along that process of all of these legal and things, they could say, oh, and here's your immigration paperwork.
Earlier today, the Washington Post reported that the Department of Defense is considering a plan to cancel contracts for 1,000 recruits without legal immigration status. They were going to get fast-track citizenship in exchange for urgently needed medical and language skills, but now may be facing deportation. In Kearney Mesa, Jean Guerrero, KPBS News.
Republicans delayed a key vote on health care reform today. A party rebellion left them lacking the votes to even begin debate. Republican senators met with President Trump this afternoon. They talked about the future of a bill aimed at repealing and replacing President Obama's signature legislation.
We're getting very close, but for the country, we have to have health care. And it can't be Obamacare, which is melting down. The other side is saying all sorts of things before they even knew what the bill was. This will be great if we get it done, and if we don't get it done, it's just going to be something that we're not going to like, and that's okay, and I understand that very well. But I think
GOP Senate leaders shelved the health care vote until at least next month. PBS NewsHour has learned Republican senators want to revise the bill and get out a new draft this week. We'll take a look at what's next for health care on Capitol Hill on PBS NewsHour. That starts at 7 o'clock right here on KPBS. San Diego's largest privately operated mental health hospital is getting a major makeover. KPBS health reporter Kenny Goldberg says Sharp Mesa Vista is renovating its area for children.
Sharp Mesa Vista is one of only 3 facilities in San Diego County that provides inpatient mental health care to children. The building that houses a children's mental health section was built in the 1960s. More than 1,300 young people are treated here every year. The $4 million renovation will allow Sharp to maximize space for patient care and bring in some state-of-the-art safety enhancements.
And our job is to help them in that crisis.
Dr. Alicia Carpenter manages Mesa Vista's child and adolescent services. She says the makeover will also help create a comforting, home-like atmosphere.
So that when somebody steps off the elevator, when they're so frightened and really in a state of crisis, that they'll get that sense right as the doors open.
Carpenter says decorating with soothing colors and images of nature will be an important part of their healing environment.
We know just that a window in a room for somebody who's had a medical procedure has wonderful benefits. And I think that that is obviously true, and maybe even more so for people who are experiencing psychiatric illness.
The renovation should be complete in early 2018. Reporting from Sharp Mesa Vista and Kearny Mesa, Kenny Goldberg, KPBS News.
The San Diego City Council is backing a bill in Sacramento that could have a big impact on transportation here. KPBS Metro reporter Andrew Bowen has more.
AB 805 would change the governing structure of the San Diego Association of Governments, or SANDAG, giving more power to bigger population centers like San Diego and Chula Vista. Critics complain that smaller cities in the county can effectively veto decisions that would benefit a majority of county residents.
In short, AB 805 takes steps to improve our regional transit agencies in ways that align closely with a number of our identified city priorities, and it ensures San Diego City residents have the voice and the weight they deserve on the boards that represent them.
SANDAG decides what kind of transportation infrastructure to prioritize, like freeways versus public transit, and where to build those projects. Councilwoman Lori Zaff is an alternate SANDAG board member. She says the current system works.
It was designed to ensure that there is collaboration, communication, consensus among, all of the 19 cities and the county governments.
The City Council's vote was along party lines, with the 5 Democrats supporting and the 4 Republicans opposing. It passed the State Assembly last month, also on party lines. It's now being reviewed by the State Senate. Andrew Bowen, KPBS News.
The latest San Diego city to make a rapid shift from citywide elections to district elections is Poway. KPBS North County reporter Allison St. John says a Malibu-based attorney says Poway is one of more than 24 California cities he has threatened to sue for violating the California Voting Rights Act.
Poway City Council voted unanimously to consider changing to district elections after being threatened earlier this month with a lawsuit. 15.7% of Poway residents are Latino, and the last Latino to run for office was in 1998. District voting could offer minorities more representation. Poway Mayor Steve Voss has mixed feelings about being forced to divide the city into 4 voting districts.
Whatever districts we come up with, I'm sure we're going to find qualified people in the future that are interested in serving the community. However, when you break a city up into parts, I think it creates a bigger challenge to get things done for the whole.
Poway has 90 days to draw the new district boundaries or face being sued. Attorney Kevin Schenkman says more than 25 California cities are currently in the process of making the change after he threatened them with lawsuits.
So we're very encouraged by that, and we're encouraged by what we've seen in the cities that have made the change. Whether it be Palmdale or Highland or San Juan Capistrano, there's been real change as a result of even one cycle of elections that has occurred. And areas, minority communities in various cities suddenly find that they too can achieve representation.
Palmdale spent more than $4 million fighting the change and lost. The city of Vista approved district boundaries last month, and Oceanside will vote on theirs next month. Schenkman says only 2 cities, Rancho Cucamonga and Santa Monica, are fighting the change. Allison St. John, KPBS News.
The California Attorney General's investigation into how customers were left with a multi-billion-dollar bill for the closure of the San Onofre nuclear power plant is again under question. Since the office opened a criminal probe in 2015 into secret dealings connected to the San Onofre settlement, a series of steps by the state's top prosecutor have left many perplexed. Instead of executing search warrants against Southern California Edison and state regulators and seizing evidence, the office left the warrants with both entities and asked that records be turned over. The office represented Governor Jerry Brown when he refused to turn over communications related to San Onofre, communications that could have been crucial to the office's own inquiry. And the office let the clock run out for filing a key criminal charge in the case. Consumer lawyer Mike Aguirre has sued to get the San Onofre settlement overturned. He is now asking the AG's office how many investigators and lawyers it has assigned to the San Onofre inquiry, how many witnesses have been interviewed, and records of contact between the AG's office and state regulators and Edison.
It appears that the obstruction of justice investigation has been obstructed, and it's been allowed to peter out, and so we want to get to the bottom of it and find out what's going on.
The AG's media department would not discuss the status of the investigation other than to say, quote, "To protect its integrity, we can't comment on a potential or ongoing investigation." And talks continue to find a radioactive waste storage site away from San Onofre. Unless there is agreement, millions of pounds of the toxic material will be partially buried near the shoreline. I spoke with Tom English near that site. He's a one-time advisor to former President Jimmy Carter on high-level nuclear waste disposal. So you're a nuclear waste expert who's lectured at the White House on this topic. You obviously think this is a bad idea. Why?
So for several reasons. One is they basically are going to put the stuff into a thin storage container, which probably will have some problems with corrosion given this ocean environment here. The second idea is they're going to store it such that it'll be about 100 feet from the water and a few inches above the groundwater table, which is totally ridiculous. So what could happen is, as the sea level rises, what will happen is the bottom of the containers will corrode.
Dr. English, why do you think Southern California Edison wants to use this dry cask storage method and actually got the backing from the California Coastal Commission to do it?
What happened is our attitude towards storage of spent fuel in a fuel pool changed with Fukushima. We had two pools melt down completely, and this scared everybody and caused a big furor and caused them to want to do something better. So it is a very good idea to take the fuel out of the pool and put it into dry storage. It's just that the choices that they made here were awful, far worse than leaving it in the spent fuel pool.
You were also worried about Southern California Edison's San Onofre nuclear waste storage plan being especially vulnerable to terrorism. Tell me about that.
Well, if you leave the spent fuel in the spent fuel pool, you have two large concrete structures surrounding the spent fuel pool that will partially protect it against an attack. When you bring it out here in the ocean like this, near the ocean on the beach, what you have is no real protection. So terrorists can find this to be a fairly easy target. And if something were to happen here, we would evacuate about 50 miles worth of people around San Onofre, which would basically shut down the economy of Southern California.
So what are some of the alternatives, some of the options to leaving the waste at San Onofre?
There are three main ones. One is to simply move it to another Southern California Edison site like in Arizona. That way you'd be at least away from the beach, and it's already licensed for this sort of thing. Another alternative would be to move it across the street to Camp Pendleton, where it's surrounded by a bunch of Marines, and you wouldn't have any overflights of airplanes, so it'd be much safer there from any kind of terrorist attack. A third alternative would be to go to Yucca Mountain, where we know a lot about the geology of the area, and basically make a part of it into temporary interim storage. And you could take all this waste and store it there for 100 years while they figure out how to solve the long-term problem. So I think three of those are much better than what we have here.
If a nuclear waste storage site away from San Onofre is not found, there's the matter of sea level rise. Projections show that this plant could be inundated by water by the turn of the century. What kind of threat does that pose both to human life and to the sea?
Well, if you have these canisters sitting in seawater, it's much the same as dumping the high-level waste into the ocean. And so this has a severe threat on both the aquatic life and human life.
And Dr. English, thank you so much for speaking to me today.
Well, thanks very much. I enjoyed it.
KPBS reached out to Southern California Edison to do a similar interview, but the company did not respond to the request. Our San Onofre coverage continues on air and online at kpbs.org. Plastic water bottles may seem like a relatively recent invention, but thousands of years ago, Native Americans in present-day California began making their own water bottles by coating woven baskets with petroleum. KPBS science reporter David Wagner says researchers now think those bottles may have been a health hazard.
For a new study, scientists recreated these ancient water bottles to find out if they could have been responsible for declining health among early Californians. They found that water stored in these replica bottles did not contain high concentrations of harmful chemicals, but Stockholm University's Sebastian Wormlander says airborne emissions during the making of the bottles did cross a threshold.
Water stored in these bottles did not contain harmful levels of petroleum chemicals, but producing the bottles and heating the petroleum in order to apply it to the baskets, that process created fumes that were a little bit unhealthy.
As a rough comparison, Wormlander says breathing in these emissions was likely a bit worse than smoking cigarettes. David Wagner, KPBS News.
A bill that will ban smoking on all state beaches and parks is one step closer to becoming law. It advanced through a key Senate committee this morning. It's already cleared the Assembly. The bill's author says it's important to protect people from secondhand smoke and remove a big source of pollution at parks and beaches.
Over a third of all litter on beaches end up being cigarette butts. These are things that are picked up by children, by wildlife. It's extraordinarily dangerous and poisonous to any life, and that's not why we go to the beaches. That's not why we're trying to go out and relax and enjoy ourselves and have our kids play in the sand. We need to protect our families and our wildlife.
Many cities in the state already have smoking bans, including San Diego. The law would also apply to e-cigarettes and recreational marijuana. A wildfire spread over an open, hilly area near Sickened Casino today, burning about 20 acres. This is video from the CAL FIRE Twitter feed. Crews battled the flames on the ground and in the air and halted the spread of the fire within about an hour and a half. Several wildfires are burning elsewhere in the West, including here in California. The largest is burning in southern Utah. AP reporter Matt Small has an update.
The massive wildfire burning in southern Utah is now the largest in the country. Flames that started near the Bryan Head Resort grew to 72 square miles Monday. State officials say it's burned 13 homes and forced 1,500 people to evacuate. Dry, windy weather is making it a tough fight.
We've evacuated somewhere around 600 cabins, and that's being conservative. It's just been a really hard to manage fire.
What stood out was really the miracle and the hard work that occurred to not have more cabins lost. The fire is all around cabins.
The hot, dry weather is also making things tough in California, where firefighters are contending with two new, powerful, fast-moving fires. One started Monday on the Central Coast, north of San Luis Obispo. It quickly tore through 1.5 square miles, forcing 250 people from their homes.
And when I got down here, the fire was actually over there. Their car had caught on fire and was burning that bank. It had nothing to do with this one up here, so we had two of them going at the same time.
Volunteers are evacuating horses and other animals.
And I have horses and goats and dogs and cats and everything. And I was working in Los Osos, so I didn't know about the fire. I saw the plume as I was driving home.
A traffic accident sparked another fire in a remote area about 80 miles east of Los Angeles. It burned through 2 square miles in just a few hours. Matt Small, The Associated Press.
Critical fire weather happening now in San Diego. There's a red flag warning for the mountain and desert areas. You can expect wind speeds up to 50 miles per hour. Erin Calandra has more on when things will cool down.
A beautiful day today in San Diego. We do have a red flag warning to tell you about that will expire at 1 o'clock in the morning Wednesday. But that means we could see a wildfire spark and spread pretty quickly. It's very dry, low humidity, so outdoor burning is not recommended for this time period here tonight and into tomorrow. Taking a big look across the region, we really don't see anything going on as far as wet weather. Even cloud coverage is sparse around here right now. Tonight, 63 degrees for our overnight low. We're going to see some fog later on in the evening hours, and those, of course, will dissipate throughout the day, and we'll have plenty of sunshine. So along the coast, it's a bit cloudier. Inland, quite clear. Borrego Springs, 74 degrees. Mount Laguna, 57. San Diego, 63 degrees tonight for our overnight low. Here's that high pressure system. It is finally weakening, which means temperatures are going to be dropping. It's still very warm, above average in places like Phoenix and, of course, in our deserts as well. Triple digits all week long. It's also cooler, though, along the coast. We have this cool air coming in off the Pacific, which is making things very pleasant in places like San Diego, for example. So taking a look here at tomorrow, we could see a few clouds lower, especially in those morning hours in Oceanside, San Diego. Temperatures at 71 degrees. Inland, we could even see a couple low clouds, 86 degrees in Ramona. Borrego Springs, we are still cooking at 107, and in the mountains here, 79 degrees, but very windy. We could see gusts up to 50 miles per hour in the passes. It's going to be wet here in the deep south late this week, also the Midwest up into the Northeast, but for us here in the Southwest, well, it's going to be very hot and dry, much like we've seen here in the last week or so. So taking a look at the coast, we are at 71 degrees with fog breaking into sun. Inland, it's a bit warmer. We're in the low 80s all week, again with some fog and then sunshine throughout the day. In the mountains, it's pleasant. Temperatures on Thursday at 77 degrees. Then we reach 80 for Friday and Saturday with plenty of sunshine. And in the deserts, we're still at triple digits with plenty of sun. For KPBS News, I'm Erin Calandra.
After 8 years in business, Suzies Farm, an organic farm in the Tijuana River Valley, is closing down. The farm started in 2009 and eventually grew to 70 acres. It was celebrated for its family events and sold produce directly to the public through farmers markets and its CSA program. But co-founder Lucia de Alejandro said through a Facebook video that their profits never kept pace with their growth.
There's a part of me that wants to say, I'm sorry. I'm sorry we couldn't make it happen. But we did. We made it happen for 8 years, y'all.
De Alejandro says she and her husband will continue to operate their company called Sun-Grown Organic Distributors. Nearly 4,000 segregated black soldiers helped build a highway across Alaska and Canada during World War II, a contribution largely ignored for decades. AP reporter Peter Banda has the story.
After the Japanese attacked Pearl Harbor, having a land route to Alaska took on new urgency and led to a hasty engineering feat. The U.S. military built the Alaska-Alcan Highway through the harsh wildland of Canada and Alaska in just 8 months.
The weather was tough. The surrounding was awful. You go to a rugged range, you know.
11,000 soldiers worked on the highway, including 4,000 African-American troops, whose contributions went unacknowledged for decades. Leonard Larkins of New Orleans is one of the few surviving segregated soldiers who toiled on the Alcan.
At the time, I felt that it wouldn't seem to me like it was nothing like serving for war or anything. It was seemed to me it was more like you were in jail or something doing some kind of work, you know.
The work was overseen by the son of a Confederate general, Simon Bolivar Buckner Jr. Black troops worked from the north, white troops from the south. Black soldiers not only endured clouds of mosquitoes, wild temperature swings that went from hot to sub-freezing weather, as well as marshy conditions, they were discriminated against.
Well, they had the big bulldozers and all that stuff. We had mostly picks and shovels and things to cut grass.
Larkins also recalls how he and his fellow soldiers weren't allowed to visit the small towns along the way. But once the 1,500-mile road was complete, it opened up more than a land link between Alaska and the lower 48 states.
This is the picture represent when the black soldier of the 97th met with the white soldier of the 18th from Canada, and they shook hands, and that, to us, this represents integration.
6 years later, President Truman integrated the military as blacks not only built highways, but fought in battle. Now, on the highway's 75th anniversary, the contributions of Larkins and other troops are being honored.
Just think, 75 years ago, he worked on Alaska Highway, and this is the first official time he's getting recognized.
Best thing I would say was to survive from it all.
During his visit back to Alaska, Larkins is hoping to finally visit some of the towns he missed seeing in the 1940s. Peter Banda, Associated Press.
You can find tonight's stories on our website, kpbs.org/evening edition. Thank you for joining us and have a great evening.